Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the next round of the Classic Marques Championship. We are at Curborough, a familiar track to me, a familiar track to many. We have a bumper field today. We have 40, I think, Classic Marques competitors today and tomorrow. Unlike normal, today is the 2-lap version, which they've had to remind us at the driver's briefing. Normally, every time I think I've been to Curborough to present, it's been the figure of 8 on day 1 and the 2-lap on day 2, but it's the reverse this weekend. So the 2-lap today, the figure of 8 tomorrow. Target for me is my PBs. We came not so long back, a month or two back, and got very close. We have got newer tyres now on the front, which were the main stumbling block then, so we should get very close. Weather forecast is 24 degrees today and tomorrow. We have just had another heat wave in the UK at 30 degrees, which is way too hot, but yeah, it's cooled down today and tomorrow. So conditions more or less ideal. We could do with a little bit of sun out, but yeah, more or less ideal. So we've got 2 practices, I think. No one really knows whether it's 1 or 2. That's the other thing, we'll have to figure it out. So we'll just go steady as always in this, make sure everything's working right, and then we'll attack it from the first timed run, whenever that may be. Tyre pressure, but it felt good. 63.47, not bad. Yeah, it's good that. 60. Actually thinking about it, what's my PB? A 62.7. So we're only about 0.7 off my PB on first practice. Very good. See how things shake up later on. Right, timed run number 1. We didn't get a second practice. There's only 1 practice. We were unsure, but yeah, so we're straight into timed runs now. 63, good start. My PB's a 62.7, so that is the ultimate aim. Let's see, so we're going to go all in. 9 out of 10 conditions. Just track is slightly a bit cool, but these tyres heat up, the AO52s heat up no problem. So, can we get a 62 on this one? Anything around a high 62 or 63 would be nice as a banker lap, and then we'll see where that puts us in Classic Marques out of the 40 runners, and see what we need to do to get to the top step, if we can get there. But yeah, the aim for me personally is a new PB, if we can get that. Felt good on practice, so let's give it everything, see how we get on. 62.70, that will do. Roughly my PB. Definitely outbroke myself slightly into one of the hairpins at the end. So there's definitely another 10th for 2 there. Feeling good. See where that puts us in class. Right, timed run number 2. And then we're having lunch. So broke my PB on that last one by 1/100th of a second, but it all counts. So the finest of margins, but we have a new PB, a 62.7 dead. My old PB was a 62.71. So currently lying first by a few tenths, but it is very close as always, as you can expect with 40 competitors in class. So can I go any quicker? Well, you can always go a bit quicker. So that is the aim. Can we shave any more off? It is starting to warm up now. We're at 26 degrees. 26 is the new 10 degrees this year. It's been 26 at nearly every event. So we're up to that. The sun's breaking through. It might be too warm this afternoon for an ultimate quick time. So we'll see what we can do on this one. Was it any quicker though? It bloody was! 62.2! Fucking come on! Fucking half a second off! That may have been the optimum run. Oh, that felt good. Right, time run number 3. So new PB on that last one, 62.2. Can we go any quicker? Dare we even dream of a 61? I would have said a couple of years ago that was impossible, but here we are on the verge of it. The downside is now it is roasting. We're up to 27. The sun's come out, so the track will be warm, but the power's going to be down. Might help get off the start though, although I did do a good start on that last one. So yeah, we'll just give it everything again. Try and be fast but neat, and dare we dream of going any quicker. Go. everything though, we're right on the limit. Yeah, 62.5. Bit slow, I just messed that last corner up a bit. Bit raggedy in places, but that's what you get when you're pushing right to the edge. So probably have one more run, see if we can do any better. Right, time run number 4. We've been told we're getting this one and one more after. So I am leading by about 0.2 of a second from Phil. Phil says if he equals his PB from last year, he would take over me. So it is neck and neck like usual. Can I go any quicker? Is my PB gonna be enough? We shall find out, but we're gonna give it everything again. Did we shave any off? 62.24. Oh, 4/100th slower than my quickest, but still a blistering time. One more run after this. So all 4 runs today have bet my previous PB. I can't be too disheartened with that, but is it enough to win the class? All on the last run. Right, time run 5. The end of the day, we're on 30 degrees. Intake's 52 degrees. Absolutely roasting, but we will give it one last push. Phil, who was lying in second, has just matched his best time, but not beaten it, which means in theory I am still first. But that's relying on no one else going quicker, so we will see if we can shave any off. But I'm happy with the run so far. We'll give it one last big push. I think the tyre temps and the engine temps will be too hot, but you just never know. That last run I did my best, my quickest first lap of the day, but my slowest second lap of the day. So a tale of 2 laps, which, yeah, coincides with the tyres might just be going off. But we shall see. overdrive it completely. .64 to finish with. Abysmal run, but we just had a bit of fun. Yeah, that were way beyond the limits of the car. But hey ho, let's hope we've done enough to win the class. We will find out shortly. Right, back for day 2 at Curborough. The figure of 8 course today. Weather very similar to yesterday. Glorious conditions. Best run might be first time run. So this is practice. We're already halfway through the morning. We've had an incident or two, so we won't get as many runs as yesterday. There's more people here, and there's even more people in Classic Marques. So we have even more runners. Steve's here in his Porsche that's always ultra quick. Some people may have got the iron yesterday, so we will go as fast as we can and see where we finish today. First place yesterday, as you will have seen, so all I can do is aim for another new PB today. PB on this layout is 63.7. It's always about a second slower on the figure of 8. So yeah, let's see how the car feels on this one in practice and then attack it from time run 1. From the off, see what time it was. Good start, good start. We're only half a second off my PB. Jesus, the time is there. Time run 1 might be the one before it gets too hot. We shall see. Right, time run number 1. We've had a few hold-ups, so it's already past dinner time, but we haven't had dinner yet. So we'll just get this run and maybe 2 this afternoon. Got to make them count. As you can see from the windscreen, we've had a couple of drops of rain in the air, but it is just a couple of drops, so fingers crossed it won't make any difference. It is still very hot, so I can't see it affecting anything. By the looks of everyone's times, it hasn't, so we will go all in as always and see if we can get a 63. I think we're lying second, so we're going to need a 63 to be in with a shout. We will line up on the left hand side of the grid because there's oil spilt to the right, so it'll be interesting to see how this compares to the centre middle that we normally line up. Not ideal for the bend, but we might get away slightly better. We will see. run, but not a bad banker run. Let's see what it was. 63.07. Fucking smashed it. Yeah, felt good just that last corner where the tyres just gave up and I drifted out wide, but the rest of it, the tyres hung on, pretty nailed on, so very happy with that. Like yesterday with a 60, dared we dream of a 61, dare we dream of a 62 today, the impossible. We'll give it everything, but that could have been the optimal run. Glad we hooked it up. Right, timed run 2 after lunch. We may only get this afternoon. Been a lot of hold-ups today. We've been told if we all play nicely and keep it on track, we should get a timed run 3. But if there's any hold-ups, we might not. So, all out attack on this one. I have a feeling it's going to be too warm now. Just looking at the times from the last few people, I think everyone's going slower than timed run 1. I think that was the optimal track condition and temperature. 27 degrees now, the sun is out. I think the tyres are just going to go off too quick, but with all that being said, we're here, we may as well attack it. Let's try and get a 62 if there is any scope. Yeah, 63.96, cost me big time that, got right out of shape. But like everyone else, going slower anyway, cost me big time. One more go, let's hope it cools down, we'll give it one last push. Right, back from ScimFest at Curborough. What a great weekend, all in all. 2 first places in Classic Marques. As I said, there was around about 40 competitors each day. So really pleased with that. Went there not expecting to win. Knew I'd be up there, but not expecting to win. And it needed, in the end, 2 massive new PBs, which got me the wins both days. So yeah, Saturday was the 2-lap course, which I think there was a few went the wrong way. As always, every time I've been, both days, there's always a couple either get the wrong route in the head or have a lapse of concentration. But we started on run 1 with a 62.7, which was basically my PB. So I knew a really good time was there. And then the next run's a 62.2, a 62.5 and another 62.2. So about 0.5 up on my PB on the best time. The last run just went overdrive it, went too far, went beyond the capabilities of the car. So that was irrelevant. But practicing 5 runs, you don't normally get 5 runs at Curborough because there's only 1 car on track at a time because you finish at the same place you start, and there's not a finished paddock as such, like there is at a lot of places. They can only release one car at a time. So yeah, you normally only get 2 or 3 timed runs, so to get 5 was a bonus, and it was really well organised, the whole event. ScimFest is throughout the weekend. And then on to Sunday, which was the figure of 8. Now historically I always do slightly better on the figure of 8 because it is a bit more technical. There's the crossover section in the middle, so I like it. The more bends there is, the more technical it is. Me and that car, I prefer courses like that. So yeah, we started practice only about half a second off. Now there was a lot of hold-ups, a lot of incidents, which meant we only got 2 timed runs on the Sunday. So you're drastically down from the Saturday, but run 1 did it. I said on the video that I thought run 1 would be the optimum conditions. I'm fresh, the car's fresh, the temperature's not too hot, the tyres are right in the window, so I had to make the most of it. Luckily I did, and I got a 63.07, which was about 7/10 off my PB, which is astonishing really, because the last 3 or 4 times I've been there I've got around the same time, and conditions every time have been nigh on perfect. So there was something in it, and it's hard to pinpoint exactly what that meant smash my PBs, because other people did as well. So it wasn't just me, there's a lot of people getting new PBs. So the track was definitely grippy and running fast. And somebody mentioned it's because we've not had any rain in 6-7 weeks, so all the rubber's built up, and that might play into it. But who knows? But anyway, we made good use of the conditions, shall we say. And then in the afternoon it got a bit hot again. Once it goes about above 25, my car just struggles a bit on heat, and the tyres overheat quite quickly. So yeah, we managed a 63.9 on the second run, but I did make a big error in the middle, so it probably would have been close to the 63.07 if I'd have not made that mistake. Now no, I always say I make a mistake, and usually it's just the car losing grip, but on that one I went to dab the brake pedal to turn in for the crossover, and my foot just slipped straight off the brake pedal. So I didn't slow down hardly any, and then by the time I'd done that I went to turn in, and I was 2 or 3 feet away from the apex, so which meant I had to turn, give it more steering lock than I would normally, which meant the back end, I lost the back end, I had to correct it, and that was lap ruined. But even saying that, even with that big error, it was only a couple of attempts off my previous PB, so that just shows you, yeah, how well the course was running. So 2 more wins for Classic Marques. I'm now on 7 out of a maximum of 8, so I can only get 1 more win, and then we've got maximum points. How Classic Marques works is it's the last person to get to 8. So if I hit 8 wins in the next event or 2, and then somebody does it on the last 1 or 2 events, they will actually win. But yeah, I never go into anywhere to play a game or deliberately go slower, or I just go everywhere to just do as fast as I possibly can, beat my PB, and the results will be the results, and the championship will be the championship. But yeah, we are in pole position as it stands right now. So on to Snetterton next weekend, which is the Marques Speed Championship and the Nottingham Speed Championship. My PB from the last 2 years is a 99. The target time's a 97. Don't think I can reach that, but I should, if the weather holds, beat my PB. We've got the good suspension on now, which plays dividends out on track. The front tyres are still fairly fresh. The rears are getting down a bit, but the fronts are still fairly fresh. So yeah, we should have a really good run there. And if it rains, I normally do well in rain anyway. If it rains, that track is treacherous. So yeah, that'll be a battle of wits if that happens. And there is a big class. There's about 10 or 12, not a big class compared to Classic Marques, but there's 10 or 12 of us there. A lot of Porsches I'll be up against, so it should be interesting to see where I finish. So yeah, onwards and upwards. Thank you.